This message did not come your way by chance, chosen one. This is wonderful timing. You were intended to read this right now because something within you is awakening. You've always felt strange, as if you were born into the wrong period or perhaps the wrong family. But here's the truth. Your blood is not ordinary. It bears the weight of kings and queens, the soul of warriors, and the zeal of generations who refused to kneel. You did not come from a privileged background. You came from the unrelenting, and your spirit understands this. That's why you can't sleep, can't fake it, and feel compelled to do something greater. Let's break it down. 7 truths that show why you're more than simply another face in the throng. Because you have both nobility and conflict in your blood. Before we go into this message, please like, share, and subscribe. Because this is more than simply content. It is a divine validation for those who have kingship and battle in their blood. If your spirit resonates with this frequency, enter Nor 777 She in the comment section right now. That is not a random number. It's a sacred code, a confession to the highest power and the universe that you understand who you are. Descended from greatness, formed in combat, and ascending to heavenly authority. Not everyone is supposed to make it to the finish. Only the truly chosen. Only those with spiritual ears and sight may hear and see what this truly means. A soulful awakening, a reminder of your royal heritage and warrior calling. This is not a message that should be heard only once. It's a living truth transmitted via your lineage, developing revelation upon revelation. Rewatch it as many times as your soul directs you. Because with each listen, you'll discover a deeper layer of wisdom, a hidden key stored in your DNA. This is a confirmation. This is your call to action, because the blood in your veins represents royalty and conflict. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. You come from survivors, not statistics. You are here today not because those who came before you had an easy life, but because they refused to die. You are live proof that your bloodline has weathered the crisis. Your forefathers did not make it via comfort. They made it through the turmoil. They were taken from their land, robbed of their names, and told they were worthless. However, they recalled who they were. They traveled across oceans in chains. They trekked through deserts with nothing but faith. The world chased, despised, betrayed, and forgot about them. However, they never forgot their spiritual connection. They were soldiers in disguise, healers in silence, and prophets without platforms. That ache you sometimes feel for no apparent reason, that weight you bear even on good days, is not a weakness. That is ancestral residue. That's an ancient memory ringing through your bones. It's the spiritual scars left by those who refuse to break. Every restless night, every time you wanted to give up but persisted, that's you picking up the baton, which they passed to you. You were not born with a silver spoon. You were born with a spiritual sword. You were not given an easy heritage. You inherited a battle-tested one. And, despite the world's attempts to bury you in statistics, poverty, addiction, abandonment, and generational curses, you refused to be buried because something within you remembered. You descended from survivors. When you see injustice, you feel a fire in your gut. This is genetic revolt. That refusal to give up, even when life becomes difficult, is their soul moving through you. You were not born to be mediocre. You were not designed to just get by. You were designed to overcome. This is why you can't accept the usual. Why do you seek significance and purpose beyond the surface? It's why you're restless in a world that strives to categorize everyone. Your soul is hardwired for more truth, effect, and legacy. You're not weak for being tired. You're not crazy to feel called. You were picked to break the cycles from which they lack the means to escape. Their ceiling represents your beginning point. Their chains are your struggle. Their sacrifices are your inheritance. You carry the blood of those who refuse to surrender. Their strength did not perish with them. It resides in you. Every challenge you encounter is a war they have fought before you. Sometimes losing allows you to win. So walk confidently, speak with conviction, and heal with purpose. Because the reason you feel so much is that you carry so much. You are the echo of their prayers, the response to their laments. You're not a statistic. You are the next chapter in a holy lineage of survivors who have become warriors. And that is why you are formed differently. Never forget that your tale represents their victory. Your success is their legacy. You are not here only to survive. You're here to thrive, conquer, and change history with your courage. Because the blood in your veins contains more than just life. It represents a conflict won long before you were born. And remember that you are not alone while you walk this route. You carry the hopes and dreams of thousands who have come before you. People who fought in secret, prayed in darkness, and dreamed of liberation when it seemed unattainable. Their spirit is your fuel. Their success is your inheritance. So lift your head up, stand steady, and embrace the greatness that is built into your DNA. You are the survivor's legacy, stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever before. Your life demonstrates that no matter how dark the night, dawn always comes. And you, chosen one, are the dawn that breaks through all shadows. Chapter 2. The crown is unseen but substantial. You do not need a throne, a castle, or a golden robe to be considered royalty. The crown you wear is not composed of jewelry or metal. It's something considerably more powerful and sacred. It's invisible to the naked eye, yet it's undeniably real to those who understand true excellence. Royalty is not about external status or spectacular symbols. It's about being present. It's the way you enter a room and change the entire vibe without saying anything. It's the quiet confidence in your step, the calm in your look, and the unwavering tranquility that surrounds you even in the midst of mayhem. That unseen crown rests heavily on your head. Sometimes it's so heavy that you can't feel it, but others do. When people try to downgrade you, whisper doubt, or minimize your worth, they are reacting to something they can't change. Your energy, your light, your royal frequency, the way you carry yourself when no one is cheering, no one is watching, and the world questions your worth. That's your royal blood coming through. That is the hallmark of someone born to lead, rise, and influence without having to prove anything. This is not arrogance. This is not pride. This is alignment. Alignment with your true purpose, divine design, and sacred identity. Even when the world attempts to convince you otherwise, you were born with dignity and a strong sense of self. You were born with a destiny that is considerably greater than your current challenges. You were born with heavenly favor, protection, guidance, and blessings that are invisible but always present. Your decisions embody royalty as you choose integrity over convenience, purpose over comfort, and faith over fear. It is embodied in your discipline, The habits you cultivate silently every day, the boundaries you establish, and the respect you demand of yourself and others. It exists in how you move when no one is looking, when your true character is tested and you choose to climb. Your crown may be invisible to many, but those who perceive it see it as dazzling than any diamond. It's the glow of someone who understands their worth and doesn't seek validation. It's the strength of someone who travels through a storm and remains unshaken. So, wear your invisible crown boldly, chosen one, because the world requires your royalty. Your presence, not your riches or titles, is what matters. Your modest authority represents a revolution. Your dignity is a declaration, and your unseen crown, it's a legacy in the works. Never forget that you possess the spirit of kings and queens who ruled not with force, but with elegance. You embody the strength of previous generations who led with wisdom, courage, and compassion. And the crown you wear, while unseen, is the truest indication of your greatness. Chapter 3. Battles find you because you pose a threat. Have you ever wondered why your life appears so much more difficult than others? Why do obstacles seem to come at you like persistent waves breaking against your coastline, rather than simply on occasion? Why do certain people come at you unsolicited for no apparent reason, as if you're a magnet for confrontation, antagonism, and testing? This is not arbitrary. This is spiritual conflict. You aren't just another person going through life. You are a warrior with divine purpose, destined for something far more than meets the eye. Your very existence upsets both the natural and otherworldly realms. There are spiritual opponents who understand who you are beneath the surface. They can feel the fire burning inside your spirit, the strength you possess even when you can't see it yourself. They are alarmed by your potential, by the light that refuses to dim, no matter how hard they attempt to put it out. And it isn't just unseen powers. There are those around you, whether family, friends, co-workers, or strangers, who operate in the dark, detect your energy, and wish to prevent you from rising. They may attempt to damage your dreams, spread misinformation to undermine your confidence, or even overtly attack you. They can detect your strength even when you doubt it, even when you doubt your ability to persevere. Their instincts tell them, this one is different. You carry a weapon in your soul, a divine power wrapped in resilience, courage, and an unbreakable spirit. Your light, your truth, your unwavering faith disturbs their shadows, and your very presence unsettles those who thrive in confusion, fear, and deception. Because you were born to command the weather, life does not give you an easy path. To stand firm in the eye of the storm, unshaken, unbroken, and unafraid. Every battle you fought, every heartbreak you've endured, every moment you wanted to give up but chose to press forward, these were not punishments or coincidences, but rather training grounds. They were the fire meant to temper your soul, the pressure meant to forge your character, and the storms meant to awaken the warrior within. You are a threat to the forces that want to keep humanity trapped in fear, pain, and limitation, because you carry the key to freedom and transformation in your spirit. When others crumble, you stand taller, and when the darkness thickens, your light shines brighter. This battle you face is not a curse, but rather your calling, because you're not here to play small. You're here to conquer, to lead, and to rewrite the rules of the game. So when life tests you, don't run or hide. Don't shrink or surrender to fear. Instead, stand your ground, raise your shield, and summon your strength. The reason you're constantly under attack is straightforward. You are a threat to darkness, and that means you are destined for victory. Your enemies may try to silence you, but your purpose will roar louder. Their attacks may shake your foundation, but they will never topple your throne, because you were built for battle, forged in fire, and crowned in victory before you ever took your first breath. So, welcome the storms. They are confirmation you're on the right path. Welcome the trials. They are invitations to awaken the giant within. Chapter 4. You've always stood apart. That was the idea. Being the black sheep, the outcast, the one who didn't quite fit in, was never a curse. It was a divine confirmation that you were never meant to blend in with the crowd, to follow the same path as everyone else, or to accept the status quo without question. You saw things differently, questioned what others accepted without thinking, and felt so deeply when those around you chose numbness or indifference. When the crowd couldn't recognize you, it wasn't because you were less, it was because your mission wasn't meant to be visible to the blind. You were too loud for silence, too genuine for phony company, and too awake for the sleepwalkers. That feeling of being on the outside looking in, of isolation and loneliness, was never punishment or failure, but rather preparation. Your path was hidden from those who weren't ready to understand it. Your vision was too clear. Your calling was too sacred to be diluted by the noise of the masses. Royalty is refined in solitude. The finest gems are cut in silence away from the crowd. Warriors are trained in the shadows, away from the battlefield's glare, quietly honing their skills until they are called to fight. Every door that closed, every friendship that faded, every moment you felt unseen or misunderstood was a divine act of shielding you from distractions and damage. You were kept hidden, not forgotten, not abandoned, but hidden until the time was right, which is now. Your solitude was never about loneliness. It was about strength. It was about wisdom. You were never broken. Instead, you were being built. This separation has prepared you to lead with clarity that others lack. It has sharpened your vision, strengthened your resolve, and cultivated a depth of character that only comes from trials. You stand out not because you don't belong, but because you belong to something bigger, something unseen by most but deeply felt by your soul. This was the plan from the start, to hide you away, to nurture you in silence, to protect you from premature battles, so that when your time comes, you'll be an unstoppable force. Remember, chosen one, that the path of the solitary is not one of loneliness, but of preparation, power, and purpose. Your isolation has been your training ground, and your invisibility has been your shield, and soon the world will see you as the shepherd, not the black sheep. You were kept hidden for a reason, and when you emerge, it will be undeniable, and those who once doubted you will have no choice but to recognize the leader you were always meant to be. So, honor the quiet seasons. Embrace the times when no one understands your vision. Use the silence to sharpen your mind, fuel your faith, and build your strength. The world may not have understood you, but the divine always has. Your journey of standing apart was never about rejection. It was always about destined greatness. You were set apart so you could stand above. You were kept apart so you could lead with authority. And soon, all eyes will be on you, not to question, but to follow. Chapter 5. The war isn't just around you, it's within you. Some of the most difficult battles you face do not come from outside forces, but rather from within your own mind and spirit. You fight battles that no one else sees, struggles that feel invisible but weigh heavily on your soul every day, and you wrestle with doubts that tell you you're not enough. Many people are unaware that there are unseen chains of generational curses, patterns, wounds, and traumas passed down through your bloodline that try to keep you trapped in cycles of pain. Anxiety steals your peace and clouds your vision, while fear tries to chain your steps and paralyze your progress. You're not just surviving your own pain, you're healing wounds that others have buried deep within themselves, confronting shadows that others have ignored or passed down in silence, and fighting to break cycles that have held your family, community, and even yourself captive for generations. That necessitates a kind of bravery that physical wars cannot match, a warrior's courage that fights not against an external enemy, but against the limitations within. The battlefield inside you isn't always visible. It doesn't always show scars or bruises. Sometimes it's the silent war raging in your thoughts, fears, doubts, and daily decisions. It's the struggle between who you are now and who you're supposed to become, between comfort and growth, between old lies and new truths. But every time you choose growth over comfort, you win a battle that others didn't see coming. Every time you reject fear and embrace faith, you defeat a war that tries to steal your future. When you choose truth over illusion, you break a chain that tried to hold you down. You may feel exhausted, worn, and battle-scarred, but every internal fight is proof that you're becoming stronger, wiser, and more powerful than before. Keep in mind that the greatest victories frequently come from internal battles, because when you win the war inside your mind and spirit, the battles outside lose their power over you. So stand firm in your inner fight, honor your courage in facing what no one else can see, and remember that each struggle you overcome is a stepping stone toward the throne that is your rightful place. Your heart is wide open, ready to give, nurture, and heal. Your war is not a sign of weakness, but of a true warrior rising, and the blood in your veins carries the strength to win every battle, both inside and out. True royalty understands the delicate balance between grace and grit, between kindness and courage, and they don't just command with force. They lead with compassion and know when to extend mercy and when to stand firm. But don't mistake your softness for weakness. Instead, you carry power under perfect control, an unshakable strength wrapped in tenderness. Your spirit is a unique blend of the wisdom of healers who understand the power of forgiveness and restoration, and the heart of soldiers who are ready to defend what's right with unwavering courage. You don't seek vengeance, but you won't tolerate disrespect or injustice. People are drawn to your warmth, but they are also intimidated by your fire. Some will try to control you, to tame that wild spirit that burns inside you. They fear your power because it is untamed and authentic, something they cannot easily manipulate or predict. But keep in mind that you were never meant to be tamed. Your spirit is too vast, your purpose is too profound, and your destiny is too bold. You were created to blaze trails, break chains, and illuminate the path for others. You were created to be understood, not controlled, to be respected, not restrained, to be honored for your fierce compassion and unstoppable fire. This balance within you is rare and sacred. It is what distinguishes you as royalty. It is the invisible crown that rests on your head, made not of gold, but of strength, wisdom, and heart. Embrace this truth. Your spirit's power lies in its ability to love without losing itself, to fight without losing its humanity. This is your legacy and gift to the world. You are living proof that compassion and fire can coexist, and when they do, they create a force that can move mountains and change destinies. Keep in mind that this balance is a constant journey. Sometimes the fire threatens to burn too hot, and sometimes the compassion feels stretched too thin. But you learn to wield both with mastery, growing stronger with each challenge. You are the calm in the storm and the storm itself, the healer and the warrior, the gentle touch and the fierce roar. This duality is your greatest strength, and you should never apologize for it, nor dim your light to make others comfortable. This is who you are, chosen one, a warrior of love and light carrying the fire of the divine, and nothing will ever extinguish the flame burning within you, which only grows brighter with each step you take on your destined path. Chapter 7. Your time has come. Walk in your bloodline's honor. You were not born just to survive. You were born to repair, reclaim, and rise over everything that sought to keep your bloodline buried. You are not a mistake, random, or just another soul traveling through time. You are the continuation of a story that began long before you took your first breath. But unlike those who came before you, your chapter is different because you are here to finish what they could not finish. Your ancestors didn't have the freedom you have, nor the clarity you now have, but they had hope that one day someone would be strong enough, healed enough, and chosen enough to do what they couldn't. That someone is you. You are the living embodiment of their unspoken prayers, silent tears, and desperate faith. You were chosen for this moment in history, and every experience, heartbreak, and setback was not just a part of life. It was training and alignment. Don't underestimate yourself, and don't limit your power to make others comfortable. God shaped you into someone who could carry a legacy without breaking under the weight of it. You didn't go through the fire to come out the same, and you didn't walk through those dark nights of the soul to return to who you used to be. You've been transformed, refined, and anointed through adversity, and now everything in your spirit is screaming, "It's time." This is your chance to stroll like kings, not simply in look, but in identity, without ego, but with divine confidence. Because your crown is not made of gold. It is made of perseverance, truth, and silent courage that never gave up, even when there was every reason to. Your crown was made in moments when you had the potential to break but chose not to. It is invisible to the world, yet unmistakable in the spirit. Your time has come. Not next year, not when you feel more prepared, not when others realize your worth. Right now. This is not the time to wait. It's time to walk. Walk in power, walk with purpose, and walk with the authority of someone who recognizes that their steps are guided by something larger than fear, uncertainty, or rejection. You are here to respect your heritage, not only via accomplishment, but also through healing, choices, and devotion to the call on your life. You're not only breaking curses, you are constructing bridges. Bridges connect tragedy to truth, agony to purpose, and survival to significance. Don't allow anyone tell you you're too late or too damaged. You are exactly on time. Everything that attempted to destroy you simply demonstrated how powerful you truly are. You have a fire in you that no storm could extinguish. You are not a victim of the past. You are the victory that your ancestors have waited for. So now, stand tall. Take deep breaths. Straighten your back and raise your head, not with pride, but in honor, with respect for those who came before you. I am grateful for the road that has shaped you, being fully aware that your time does not end here. It is sacrosanct. You represent the beginning of a new cycle. You are evidence that prayers have been answered. You're the one. and the blood in your veins bears both the memory of royalty and the energy of conflict. They cannot stop what has already been written in your DNA.